Well, I'm here with Janet Doerr, and I'm really thrilled and excited to have Janet here. She's a medical intuitive, a master energy healer, and an ascension coach. And Janet uses multidimensional gifts to dig in, uncover, clear the root causes of her clients' health issues. She works with people in an empowering way to identify the underlying energies that can include suppressed emotion, limiting beliefs, ancestral energies. And she works with those and releasing those and shifting people back into their vitality and health. So, Janet, I'm just thrilled that you're here.
Thank you. It's a great pleasure. I'm really happy that you invited me, and what a lovely roster of brilliant speakers and souls you've brought forward to the event. So I'm
Thank you.
pleased to be in such beautiful company.
I did. I love how you sent me kind of near the end of my gathering of speakers, you sent me kind of you wishing me to draw the right speakers with the right topics. And it's just a beautiful way to create something in trust. So I appreciated that. Your topic today is on a vision for health. So I love that. And the way you approach health is everybody has different gifts that they offer in this community. So before we get into the content that you have for us today, how did you navigate into this way of serving? How did you navigate into this field, Janet?
Well, it was quite a surprise to me. I was a management trainer and consultant working across the Western United States and the Western British Columbia provinces as well. And we lived in Canada for 20 years, to clarify how that happened. And I was in then I went into corporate life, and as a business manager, doing all kinds of things, business turnaround, sales compensation, leadership, you name it, real estate. Then we came back to the States, and I carried on, and my business management roles went into finance management. So my last position, I was reporting to the CFO of a high-tech, publicly traded company nearing on $1 billion of revenue. Big team, 22 people reporting to me. And I got to the point where I wasn't feeling fulfilled. Even though I had this great big job, I felt like I had all kinds of skills that weren't being utilized effectively, and started to talk with my manager about that. And in the same time frame, my hips got my attention, and I was diagnosed with osteoarthritis, severe osteoarthritis in my hips. And I had one of them replaced in a complete total hip replacement surgery. Then the misalignment with my job kind of continued, and it was like, it's time to part ways here. So then I started on my healing, process. And I thought to myself, well, I've got this time off while I decide and choose what's next. What a good time to improve my health. And if I am going to have, at the time, I thought I was going to have a second surgery. I thought, well, at least I'll get in better shape before the second surgery. And in short order, in about 6 months' time, I went, well, wait a minute, I can heal myself. So why would I not focus on going the full meal deal and having a vision for completely healing the second hip? So that's what I did. And as I connected with my spirit, remembered that we're powerful divine beings of light, and nothing is impossible for us in truth. If we set our mind and our soul and our intention upon it, and align our energy with receiving whatever it is that we're choosing. So as I got near to my spirit, and then I'd start asking questions. Well, what would it take for this to improve? What would it take for that to improve? And I'm going to teach some of these techniques here in a few minutes. And as a result, then I started getting guidance. I would see a food, or I would taste a food. I'd go in the kitchen and say, body, 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 what would you like me to eat? And it would tell me cashews and dried cranberries or something. And it's like, oh, okay, well, and all of those things that I followed my guidance ended up resulting in me completely healing the right hip without surgery, and quite a number of other additional healing stories, which I'll share some of those as we talk further.
I can't help it. I have to go, woo!
We can
What a
do it now.
story. I mean, you can say it, but when you actually think about what transpired, how can you, it's hard to contain it. I just
Yeah.
had to celebrate for a second. Okay. So you're going to talk with us now about some of the things. So you went from corporate into a healing career where you've used the skills that healed you to help heal others.
Yeah. And I'll flash forward a bit more because it's really opened up. I have conversations with the angels and masters and galactics in the unseen realms. I'm very capable of hearing what they have to say to me. We have conversations through telepathy. And so I work with those great beings to assist my clients. And the other thing that's really important for people to know, if there's an adverse health condition happening, something's going on with your body that's not perfection. Your body is trying to get your attention, and your soul is trying to get your attention that there is some trapped or suppressed emotion or energies that need to be identified, loved to completion, release the sadness, grief, resentment, anger, shame, whatever it is that may be trapped inside of us. And our bodies will present the perfect health condition to us until we slow down, get quiet, and go within and ask, what is this about? So in my work with my clients, then I help them go deep and ask those questions and receive the messages. And we do work with the beings in the heavenly realms.
Got to ask you one more question before we get in.
Yeah.
Because how did you start to acknowledge that communication? Because when you were in corporate, obviously you weren't communicating like that with the spirit.
Right. I heard the word angel, but I didn't know the names of any of them.
Yeah.
I recognize that in corporate, one of the gifts I had was I'm very perceptive. And so it helped me to manage people and be effective in groups and work to build consensus in a team situation, those kinds of things. Okay. Read people, work with issues. So I always had that perceptiveness.
Yeah.
And then I'll be honest, one day the shift was my body would talk to me and tell me what I wanted. And then when I was out, like in a grocery store line and a checker was next to me, all of a sudden I shifted my attention without knowing I had done that consciously. And now I'm receiving information for someone near me. So then I started with, well, I just received a message from your body. Would you like to hear what it would like you to feed it? And so initially the focus was on foods, but then it grew and grew and grew. And now I'm in past lives and suppressed emotion and so forth. And at one point when I was first practicing, I was up at night, 11 o'clock, getting really still and quiet so that I could connect with somebody's energy and do a little reading remotely for them. And I heard, let us help you. And I sensed a lot of energy around and behind me, a lot. And I said, and who's here? And Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, and Archangel Gabriel announced themselves, identified themselves, and said, we would like to help you in all your future work and readings if you would like our assistance.
So it became very obvious to you. I mean, you started out perceptive, but then you just continued to open and you got more and more information. Thank you for that.
We all, in whatever it is we're doing in our life path, it's a constant expansion. Yeah. So whatever people's gifts are, they continue to expand and expand as long as we're willing to play.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go into, you're going to talk about a 3-step process I'm super excited about.
Yeah. So what I'll be sharing with our listeners today then is a 3-step process to help establish your vision for your health. Mm-hmm. So the first step is to think about what you have been experiencing. Take stock. So I invite people to get a piece of paper and write on the left side of the piece of paper what you've been experiencing. Could be anything. Oh, when I run, I notice my recovery time is slow after. Or when I go bound up a flight of stairs, I feel winded. Or I've had repeated issues with something or other, or I've taken antibiotics numerous times for something. So whatever it is, headaches, whatever it is a person might have been experiencing, arthritis, which was my situation. And then to ask the question, what would I love to experience? And now take the right side of the paper and take the adverse, unfavorable health condition and rewrite it into what you would love to experience. And to have all of those statements start with either I am or I have. So for example, I am in vibrant health. Let's say someone's been ill with a whole bunch of different things going on. Well, what would be better than that? Vibrant health. Okay, I am in vibrant health. Or I have an amazing memory. Or I am strong and flexible. Or I have healthy teeth and gums. So I am or I have. And then take those things that you've written one at a time, close your eyes, and imagine that it's true right now. So you see it, imagine it, and the most important part is to feel it so, because this is how we manifest as powerful creator beings. We be something. I am that I am, the God self that I am. I am that I am what? I am in vibrant health. I am strong and flexible. And then you imagine what it would feel like if all of your muscles were strong and you were also incredibly flexible. And what joy would you feel? How grateful would you be that you're having that experience? So this is anchoring the energy, and some other lesson, some other time would be what we're actually doing with our energy. But this is number one, is to imagine and vision and bring to life and feel in your body that it's already so now. And a lot of people have difficulty doing this with their eyes open because they look around at current reality and they go, but it's not happening. So I invite you to close your eyes, disregard what the current reality experience is, and use your creator self to choose and feel and create that you have already received the vision of health that you would like to receive.
Okay, great. I mean, that's fun too. Some people might feel like they're lying. What would you say about that?
That was a good one. That was a good one. I started with I am in vibrant health, and my little voice inside said, no, you're not. And I'd say, I am in vibrant health, and I'd hear,
oh, you're not.
No, you're not. So what I did then was I said, I will call it, I am improving my health. And
you're
so
getting rid of the
that
resistance, right?
Yeah, that gave me the leeway and the runway to recognize that I was going to be on a progressively expanding experience.
Yeah.
And
maybe
then little voice couldn't argue with it.
Yeah.
As long as I was taking some action.
Yeah, I'm taking steps towards vibrant health.
Yeah.
I'm on my way to vibrant health. Yeah. Okay, great.
All right.
Yes.
So step 2 is a trap to stay out of. Mm-hmm. So step 2, what I'm going to speak to is avoid the trap of focusing on trying to get rid of something that's happening now that you're not enjoying and don't choose for your future. Okay. So for example, if a person says, well, my vision is that I am now free from arthritis, or my vision is that I'm not forgetting things anymore, for example, if it's memory, right? So the interesting thing that happens with that, the phrase has been,
they're saying forgetting.
Yeah, you cannot change something from the level at which it was created. You have to jump up to the it's not happening space. So this is the trap to watch when people have written things. You need to look and make sure I have resolved arthritis, but rather what is it that you would like to feel when it's a thing in your past? I am strong and flexible. And even not to say I am pain-free, because then you're bringing in the word and the energy of the problem.
Yeah.
And you can't be complete with something if you're still busy having it, speaking the words,
Yeah.
being in the energy of it.
Yeah.
So
It's like people, it's like people who say, I want more money. And what they're saying is I don't have enough with their energy.
Right,
So
right,
it's a trap.
right. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah. So so those two words I do teach about and stress to not use the words I need or I have or I want, rather, because both words mean I lack. So if you say I want more money, you're really saying, you're announcing to the universe, I don't have all that I require. Well, okay, true statement. The universe will just leave you right there. You know, I want better health. Okay, you lack it.
We'll
You know?
leave you wanting, if that's what
Yeah.
you want to
Yes.
want, we'll leave you
Yes.
want.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So on the trap part, then take careful stock of all the words that a person has written, you know, my listeners here, what you've written. I have, instead of overcome something or other, or I'm now rid of this, I'm no longer forgetting something. Now say, no, skip forward even further to the point where you can't even remember that you couldn't remember. And what would it be? I have a great memory. I am remembering names and telephone numbers and events and
I love how I remember everything.
Yes.
Just love it.
I remember everything I need to, or I choose to. So take any time where you've put the word need and want and say, I require, I desire, or I choose. So those are all claiming the experience. So that's step 2, avoid the trap of trying to get rid of an experience that you're not enjoying, and rather say, if it was completely gone and I didn't speak of it any time at all, what would I speak about? How would I describe the health I'm experiencing?
Yeah.
So that's number 2. Number 3, now I want to tell some stories. Number 3 is dare to dream. Dare to dream.
Okay.
One of the most limiting factors, whether it's creating improved health or anything else in our lives that we would like to experience and have a vision for, a new job, a new career, you know, multi-million best-selling book series author, you know, whatever it is a person would really like, an athletic performance that they would like, or music they would like to write and create and bring to the world, whatever is their passion. Dare to dream, to make it bigger than you think is possible. And if you see in your vision something, and now you hear that little voice again going, that's not possible, that's not going to happen because, et cetera, then you know that you are down in a small box where limiting beliefs are coming in, because in truth, we are powerful, divine creator beings, and there is no limit to what we can create. The limits to what we can create is how we limit ourselves. Can we feel ourselves actually receiving what it is that we're envisioning? Or do we say, well, that'd be nice, but it ain't going to happen? You know, we kind of grow into the energy with hope and excitement, then go, but we got to be practical. And you can just feel yourself kind of shrinking back in the energy into a normalcy or a smaller vision. Yes. So dare to dream. So the 2 stories I'm going to share with you. When I got started, left corporate and got started on my healing, one of the things I said was, what would it take for my vision to improve? Now, I was focused on reading glasses that I use and continue to use so far, but I still put it on my little, list of what would I like to improve. I have great vision. And then I was guided to quite a number of foods to add and detox and quit drinking alcohol, clean up my liver, all different kinds of things.
Yeah.
A lot of unique supplements that came into my awareness and so forth. So I was doing everything that I was guided. If I'd asked Spirit a question and the angels are now guiding me down this path, then I might want to pay attention. If someone's sending me a message from on high,
You might want to.
it might be helpful. So I was doing all of that and confused about how come I still was wearing reader glasses and things hadn't changed. But as far as this goes, one day my husband and I were invited to a dinner event out in the area south of us in wine country. And it got to be 8:30 at night, and he'd been having a little bit of wine, and I had not. So of course I was going to be designated driver. So I start driving, and coming home, it's about an hour and a half drive that we were going to come. And beautiful, beautiful day, but the light was dropping. And as we're driving along, and I've got lights coming at me, two-way highway, lights coming at me in my eyes, I'm going, oh, I had forgotten that driving at night used to be so painful that I was not able to do it. So I thought, well, let's just see how this is going to work out. And I was noticing all the cars and the lights coming to me, not bothering me, not at all. My eyes would adjust, then they'd be gone, it'd be dark. So I'm going, oh, feeling very relaxed, no difficulties, etc. I drove the hour and a half or whatever it was home. And by the end, I was just elated. It was like, this is so wonderful. I can see fantastic. I had no discomfort, whatever. And I drove in and I was just on cloud nine. And I thought, oh, I did ask, what would it take for my vision to improve? But I had forgotten that night vision was an issue for me back when, and it was completely healed. So then I did ask Spirit, by the way, would you tell me how I did that? What contributed to that more specifically? And so then, I got journaling and over a period of a couple of weeks, it was like, well, you did this and then you took that. And, these were the things. So then I learned what really contributed to that, because I was not focused on correcting night vision. I had only said, what would it take for me to have perfect vision? So that's one story. Now, the second one I want to share is even more miraculous. So I was 23. We had moved to Canada right after we got married, and I started to run for some exercise, not a form of exercise that had been my preference. I was a swimmer when I was living in California.
Yeah.
So I ran and I went out jogging every morning, and I injured myself, and my left Achilles tendon got very painful, throbbing sore. So I try to do what I can do, elevate it, get off of it, ice, those things that, we all know to do.
Yeah.
And it wasn't improving. So I went and saw the doctor, and he suggested, well, we could do this or that. Maybe we should put it in a cast if you've already been doing this and that. And so I tried a cast on it, and it still hurt. And when the cast came off, it hadn't improved. So he said, well, I think we should send you to a specialist. So I go to a specialist who then looks at my Achilles tendon, left Achilles tendon, and he says, oh, it's very easy for me to explain what happened here. Your left Achilles tendon is the size of a pencil. Your right Achilles tendon is the size of a forefinger. Excuse me. And an Achilles tendon should be about this big. And mine was the size of a pencil, the one that had been injured. So he said to me, well, you were just born with a thin Achilles tendon. And so it's been strained. And he says, so what's going to happen is you'll be moving around sometime doing something, and it'll snap. And then, we'll do surgery and I'll stitch you up, but it'll never be the same. And it'll always be, an issue. And I listened to him. I'm 23 years of age. I'm driving away. I've got about an hour. I'm in Canada. I've got an hour to drive home. And I think, that doesn't seem like a good outcome. Something else might be better than that. And I had recently, some months before, had an opportunity to listen to another Canadian, Dr. Lee Poulos, who's a psychologist who'd been coaching the Canadian Olympic team and had studied high performance people. And so he had spoken at a conference, and he taught us about what he'd learned in studying people that had corrected health issues that they all did was they go inside, get quiet, imagine going into their body and repairing something, whatever it was that needed repair. So I thought, well, I'll just do that then. I was already 4 times a day elevating my foot and, keeping weight off of it to allow it to heal. So I decided to start doing relaxation exercises. And then I imagined a little guy that would go down in my leg. And I imagined that my Achilles tendon pencil was a column of bricks. And if it was too narrow, then the answer was just put more bricks, grow it, get it bigger. So I would do this 4 times a day, 3 to 4 times a day when I do my 15-minute elevate my foot. And I never really thought about it. And I just, I didn't check on it. I didn't see, well, how's it coming? My building project, I would just do it and then I'd carry on with life. And about 5 weeks later, I stopped. I just kind of forgot to elevate because it wasn't hurting. And I went back at the 6-week point to see the doctor, and he comes immediately in the room and he comes straight over. He recognized me, comes straight over to the correct leg, the left leg. How are you doing? And I said, I'm great. And he said, well, let's see what's going on here. And he looks incredibly confused. And then he checks the right leg. And then he goes back and checks the left leg. And he's looking very confused. And he's going like his mouth's just hanging open. And he's going, so how are you? And I said, great. And I said, maybe I should tell you what I've been doing. So I told him that I'd been visualizing and building a tendon. And he just kind of shook like, oh, in disbelief. And he says, well, and I said, when I saw you last, you said that it would just tear and then you'd stitch me up. And it just didn't seem like a good outcome. So I decided, you kindly told me what the problem was. It was too thin. So I thought, well, then it should get thicker. And so very simply, that's what I've been working on. And he says, well, I guess you don't need me anymore. And off we parted. So that was the example. So when I say dare to dream, I didn't accept the situation he described to me, which is that my body has this defect and that it's irreparable and it's irreversible and it can't be altered. I thought, no, I just went to a conference and there are people all over the world that are, healing themselves. So I'll try that.
Yeah, that's great.
So my invitation to people in these 3 steps is the first one, claim the experience. Choose what you would love to experience. I am and I have statements. Envision it, close your eyes, imagine it's already so, and feel the gratitude you would feel that you are already strong, flexible, amazing memory, and any health condition of the past is now firmly in the past. The second one, avoid the trap of trying to fix a problem as opposed to create what you desire. And the third one is allow yourself to dream. There's nothing that you can imagine that if you would like to receive it, if you would like to receive it, claim it, and then allow spirit to guide you step by step in your creation. And the steps that I've taught here, I've applied them in our conversation to your health vision. But as I hope that people listening would realize, these steps apply to anything you would like to envision in your life, whether it be some other aspect of your life, relationship or career or creation. So,
and it has been mentioned in different ways by different speakers. The power of being there and already having it, already being in possession of it. So how can we connect with you outside of this experience?
Yes, wonderful. I do have a YouTube channel, so you can find me, just search Janet Doerr, Medical Intuitive on YouTube. And I'm getting more active there, so there'll be more and more content going forward. And I do have a Facebook page, Janet Doerr Medical Intuitive. If you would like to find that, you can also connect with me personally. So just find Janet Doerr, and it's DOERR, 2 R's, and connect with me that way. And through,
go ahead.
Please go ahead.
And is there another vehicle to find you?
Yes. my website is under construction, being rebirthed, as it were, a new vision. So, but for the interim, the website will be listed below in the link. And I've created a special offering. I've created a gift for you, foods to restore your energy. And it's a list of some of the things I learned, because often people going through a metamorphosis like this, where they're creating a new, sometimes health issues are also part of it. And lots of people in the last 2 years, my heart goes out to you if you've experienced a loss in the family or a big change in your life that maybe was very challenging to navigate. And that can deplete our energy, because our Jing life force, kidney energy, can become depleted as we cope with major changes and events and happenings in our life. So this list of foods will help restore your Jing energy and lift you, give you some oomph back so that you can carry on with whatever it is that you would love to create.
Janet, thank you so much. Such a wealth of information. And it seems like it's not a complicated process, and you articulated it really beautifully so that people can dive into that. So thank you so much for sharing your time and energy and your giftedness with us. We're looking forward to connecting with you more in the future.
Thank you. My pleasure to be here.